Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. We just got back from a 5-day trip to Atlanta, so I am trying to adjust and get back into the workflow. I'll tell you, sales have been slow, and yeah, that sucks. But Etsy sales have been good. They were just all higher dollars. So I actually only have a couple to show you today that are bread and butter, which is what this video is going to be. If you are not familiar, my name is Kat. I am the Nurse Flipper. I am a full-time reseller out of North Florida. And this video is items that have sold in the last week for $20 to $50. So little more commonplace ones that should be easier to find for flips. Now, I'm going to tell you this video is going to have some do's, and I'm also going to show you some do nots. There are ones that took a long time, didn't sell for much, and they are ones that I would not recommend getting and I will not be picking up again. So I like to show you kind of all sides of this because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There are items that I have that sit here for years, and I want to show you those so you don't make the same mistake I made 2 years ago by listing stuff like that. Now, Friday is going to be high dollar sales. Etsy has been almost all high dollar sales, which is beautiful, especially since eBay has been slow. Mercari's pretty much always slow for me. Poshmark's been okay. It hasn't been great, but it hasn't been horrible either. So really happy that we are spreading our sales over these multiple platforms. We do use List Perfectly to cross post, and I do want to say since I've been gone 5 days, I don't have Whatnot sales to kind of make up for it. So I will be hitting the Whatnot sales hard, including tonight with a jewelry show. Tomorrow is license plates. And then Friday, I think I'm doing linen. So I have got to make up for these slow eBay sales somehow. So if you haven't joined me over on Whatnot, definitely come check it out. Good stuff if you want it for yourself, gifts, and also some room for those of you that are resellers. So I have jabbered on enough. Let's go ahead and look at my sales and analytics page on List Perfectly, and then we will hop over to Etsy sales, Mercari, Poshmark, and eBay. So here we have our sales and analytics from the last 7 days. Again, you can see no Mercari sales because I was out of town, so I wasn't doing live sales. I was trying to actually take a vacation, and that shows because my minimum honestly, I want eBay to be at 5,000. But worst case, I would like all the platforms to be at that, and we did not hit it this week. We were at 3,440. So, I mean, 1,600 is quite a bit to be down from what your goal is. eBay is 1,800 and it is still leading, but it's only at 54%. Etsy, there were not a ton of sales. They were just high dollar ones. So it's at 28.5%. Poshmark is at 407 for 11.8%. Mercari is better than it has been. It's normally 2 or 3%, and it is almost at 5% at 169. I think that, though, is because those other platforms are low. So Mercari looks like it's more, but in reality, it's really not. So let's go ahead, take a look. We're going to start with Etsy, and we will move on over to the other platforms as well. On Etsy, we are starting out with this vintage Etra black suede clutch square gold frame 1960s evening wear purse. I did put Reed. This one's really cool because it opens up to that diamond shape. You can see the chain tucked inside, so you can have a strap or you can tuck it inside and use it as a clutch. This one I got in an online auction in a purse lot. I paid about $5 for this one. So it is going to be about a $27 to $28 profit, and it did take about 4 months. Purses are something I like. I do save the ones that are $30 or less and put those over on Whatnot. I have a bin. I just keep them stored in, and then when it gets filled, I do a purse show. So this had some scratches on that frame. That is why we wrote to see. And it was a great sale. 4 months isn't too bad, in my opinion, for a purse. Next, I wanted to make sure to share this one with you guys because I think when it comes to Native American jewelry, it's really easy to pay up and then they aren't as valuable as you think they are. So this is a Navajo Old Pawn turquoise coral sterling silver artisan ring. Sold in just a few months. I think I had it $59.99 and I was running a sale. So it sold for $47.99. I did pay about $15 for this. So it's a $32 profit, which still is okay. I'm still happy with where it sold. But I want to make sure, because I know, again, I think some people think that all Native American is higher dollar, and that simply is not the case, as you see with this one. Some of the smaller rings, like this is a smaller size, the stones are small. You can see it's only over a little bit over a gram. So really not a heavy ring. This picture is actually out of focus pretty bad. Here you can see it a little bit better. And I say it every video, but I'm definitely trying to pay more attention to make sure we get better focused pictures of our jewelry, because I do think that helps it sell faster. I only have this one to show you over on Mercari. It is a Hazel Atlas Modern Tone Cobalt Blue glass bowls. These took a long time to sell. So these are one I would not pick up again, even though they're really, really cool. They only sold for $19. They're breakable. I did only pay $1 each for these at the thrift store. So they are still going to be about a $14 to $15 profit, because Mercari fees are lower than the other platforms, which is nice. They actually started a program where the more you sell, the less your fees are. I think I'm at like 9.3% for my fees, and then I have to pay the transaction fee as well. So it ends up about 11 or 12%, I think, most of the time. But these, again, they took a long time to sell, and I don't think they're something I would pick up again. Now we are moving over to Poshmark, and first up is this vintage sign noir pink rhinestone dragonfly hair clip barrette or bobby pin. Sold for $20. The payout on that is $16. I paid $1 for this. It wasn't a costume jewelry lot, so it's a $15 profit. It took about 3 to 4 months to sell. And here you can see, this is another one. Our pictures were not really the greatest. They weren't in focus. And we do have our jewelry microscope, which we haven't been using it as much as we should be. It's kind of hard to get into a new habits and new rhythm for that. So I am going to try and start using that a little bit more, and hopefully that'll improve our jewelry pictures. Next up is this embroidered floral. I put rug, dollhouse Victorian. This also could be used as a doily, and it sold for $32. Payout was $25. I paid $5. I got a lot of them in an online estate auction. So it's a $20 profit, and it actually sold in under a month. So pretty fast sale on this one. And gorgeous, gorgeous rug or doily. You can see it's a little bit over 8.5 inches. Now, the thing with this one is, because Poshmark changed how they have their viewing, the edges of our rug have been cut off. So this is the first time I've kind of noticed that, but I don't think that I am going to be editing my pictures to kind of fit into Poshmark's new ratio that they're using for photos. I just don't feel like it would be worth the time. So hopefully most of them will not get cut off like this one did. These lampwork beads I got in a costume jewelry lot, but there were quite a few beads in there as well. So this is 19 of them. They sold for $20. The payout was $16. I'm only about $2 in, so they're a $14 profit. And these are really, really pretty. It almost looks like they're hand painted. I think they probably were either hand painted, or they were lamp work hand design beads. So here you can see this one's 7 millimeters. One of the larger ones is 11. We do use this caliper to show the size of the beads, and we probably should use it a little bit more for some of the stones and like our rings and things like that. So that's a great tool to have. I don't think I've mentioned that overly often, but that caliper, digital caliper, is definitely a great tool to have if you're selling jewelry. Next up, this one took a little while, I think about a year to sell. It is a Flame Glow by Penco hand-blown art glass candle or oil lamp. Sold for $25. The payout on this one was right around $20. I got this at the thrift store for $2, so it's an $18 profit. This is one I would pick up again because I think it's pretty cool. And you can see again, some of the pictures are getting cut off because of the new ratio aspect. And this one had a little bit of wear there on the bottom, but we did make sure to show that. I don't think we put it in our description though, which we should have. So always make sure you take pictures of your flaws as well as notating it in the description. And I like to put read or see in my title as well. Hey guys, I just wanted to interrupt for a couple of minutes to talk to you about City Beauty again. I have been using the defining liner and the plumping lip gloss for about a month now. And I definitely have noticed that my lips are softer. Some of the lines have went away. And today I wanted to show you quick. I am wearing the defining liner. And this one is a really, really pretty dark brown shade. It is called Willow. And with it today, I've got, it's almost like a bronzy color, really, really pretty. And this one is Nude York. And I got their package of the most popular. And here are two more. And I love the pink one up top. That one is Los Angeles, and the one down here on the bottom is a pink nude. So these, I love throwing them in my purse. And what I think is great, because I don't wear makeup every day, is that they are neutral, pleasant colors that I can wear without makeup and not feel like it looks funny. Some stuff I feel like it looks funny. But after using it for a month, I have noticed that my lips are softer. Some of the lines are less noticeable, and I wanted to share it with you. So if you want to try City Beauty for yourself, you can use my code Nurse Flipper. That will get you a discount to try them. And I think you will absolutely love them. A few of you told me you've been using them for years, so I was happy to hear that feedback. And I also will pop a QR code up on the screen for you that will let them know that I sent you. And I'm also going to have a link down in the description as well. So check them out. Try some of these colors. I carry one or two of them with me all the time, and they're moisturizing, and it's absolutely great here in Florida where it gets hot. So my lips dry out a lot. And when you are using this, it gives you benefits over time. I like that as well. So I hope you enjoy it. Head over to City Beauty and give the plumping lip gloss and the defining liner a try. Moving over to eBay, these are some of the worst numbers I've seen in several years. So today's not absolutely horrible. We're at 282.01. For the week, we are at 1785. For the month, we are only at 10,000. Just a few months ago, we were at 20,000. So we're down pretty bad. Luckily, Whatnot tends to pick up the slack, and hopefully our sales the rest of this week on Whatnot will make up the difference for eBay's detriment. And my 90-day total has not been under 40,000 in a very, very long time. So I really, really hate seeing that. But I think it's important to kind of keep a positive outlook on this. Just keep listing, keep doing what we're supposed to be doing. And eventually stuff will start selling, and definitely pay attention to what is selling so that you can try and list more or find more of what is actually moving. So we're going to take a look. I think I have about between 10 and 15 sales that were between $20 and $50 that make up part of that 1785. And I believe I have enough still to do a high dollar what sold for you on Friday as well. I got this thing in a sterling silver online estate sale, and I was like, what in the heck is this thing? I could not figure it out. Thank goodness for Google Lens. It is a corsage holder, which is also called a nosegay. It is an antique Victorian sterling silver. And this one took 4 months to sell, so not too bad. Sold for $44.99. I paid $5 for it. So it's a $32 profit. Not overly bad. This is not that big of a piece. And here you can see that it has that straight pin. So that's what holds the corsage. It's right at 2 inches, only 3 grams, so not overly heavy, clearly marked sterling. And again, 4 months for this piece to sell is not bad for a $32 profit. Next up, and I have kind of controlled myself from buying too many of these because I love baskets, and Native American baskets are extremely valuable, but African baskets and quite a few other baskets are not. This one was $34.99. I did only pay $5 for it, so it is a $24 profit, but baskets don't squash. They take up quite a bit of space. Luckily, they're not breakable. So if I see them for a good deal, I will get them, but I have stopped buying them as much as I was. Now, when it comes to verified Native American baskets, that's a different story because those are high dollar. So this one, I believe, was an African basket, and it did take about 10 months for it to sell. So a little bit longer. But if you are limited on space, baskets is something I probably would stay away from. Now, you could use the baskets to store your stuff in and kind of dual purpose it, but just limit yourself on how many you have in stock at one time. That is kind of what I am doing at this point. Wah, wah, wah. This one, this one. I absolutely love it, but it took 2 years to sell. So I probably would try to make myself not pick these up. Now, this is not a Native American fetish. This is simply a carved bull. Native American fetishes are much more valuable. So kind of like the baskets, they're very similar, but have very, very different values. So this one's a charging bull. It was a pink marble. It sold for $35 in, again, 2 years. I paid about $5 for this. So this one's a $24 profit. But ones that are not Native American fetishes, I really need to kind of shy away from, just because I feel like they're very plentiful. There's quite a bit of supply and not as much demand. So this is one that I would not recommend picking up. This one took about 4.5 months to sell. It is assigned BLJ, which I do not know who that is, but it is Dalmatian Jasper, handmade sterling silver pendant. Black and white stone. It sold for $39.99. I paid $5 for this. This is an artisan pendant. And so this one's about a $27 profit. 4 months is not bad for jewelry at all. It can be harder to sell some of these artisan pieces. So you can see here it is signed, but being artisan and being signed doesn't necessarily help you get found in a search. So that's where finding keywords like black and white stone, Dalmatian Jasper helps your item to get found when you have an unknown artist. I'm not sure how this gorgeous Christmas tree ornament made it through Christmas. So it was listed last July, so about 9 months to sell. It is a handcrafted glass Christmas tree ornament. Absolutely beautiful. Sold for $40. I paid $5. So this one is another $27 profit. I'm just surprised it didn't sell through Christmas because this one really is a nice piece. It is definitely vintage. I don't think it had the hole in it where it could be a topper. It was one to be hung. Yeah, it's solid on the bottom. And really great sale on this. Hand blown and vintage glass ornaments are something I will continue to keep picking up. When you're buying these though, you need to remember, like, this one did take longer. Also, they're fragile, so you're going to need to take up a little more space storing them to ensure that they do not get broke while you're waiting on them to sell. This polo sold for full price, $40. It is a Baltimore Orioles, size medium, so not the best of sizes. And it took almost a year to sell. And I only got it for $1 at the thrift store though. So this one is a $30 profit. I pick up Nike MLB stuff. If you don't know, I'm a big baseball fan. I am not a big Orioles fan. If you are, I apologize. They're probably one of my least favorite teams. If you want to know why, ask me in the comments and I will let you know. But This one is a $30 profit. I do not discriminate when it comes to picking up MLB stuff. And that is something on the online auctions that I do look for quite a bit is MLB and NFL lots. I need to really watch for like NHL for hockey and basketball as well. I just don't pay attention to them because they're not sports I watch, but I think that those would do good as well. This one, though, almost a year, but in my opinion, shirts don't really take up that much space. And for a $40 price point, I'm okay waiting. Next up, these Native American Kokopelli dancing earrings. They are sterling silver. They sold for a best offer $49. I paid close to $10 for these, so they're about a $31 profit. They did take about 6 months to sell. These were marked, but I was not able to identify the maker. If you don't know, I love Southwest. I love Kokopelli. So they've got like this little flower stamp. If you know whose maker mark that is, definitely let me know in the comments. Here you can see they're right at 2 inches, almost 9 grams. So they are a heavier pair of earrings, but I'm still coming out good with that $48 offer. And earrings do not take up a ton of space. These suckers, in my opinion, are a definite no to pick up. These took almost 4 years to sell. It is vintage Looney Tunes juice glass set of 4, 1974 Bugs Bunny, Yosemite Sam, and Tweety. Got these at the thrift store for 50 cents each. Thought they would do good. Not so much. So I am $2 in. They're only a $24 profit, and they're breakable. And they took 4 years to sell. So these are not something I would get. Now, some of them you can look up and they might be worth picking up. But this particular set obviously had a very, very low sell-through rate. I am just happy to have them gone to a new home after 4 years. These hangers took almost 2 years too, but these I would pick up again. And the cool thing about these is I got them in a lot with stuff hanging on them. And so they didn't cost me anything, and you could multi-use them. You could hang stuff on them until they sold. So they sold for $40. Essentially, they were free to me. So they're about a $32 profit, but again, took almost 2 years. However, multi-use, I can use them. So there you can see the patent pending, the B&G NYC. I have actually gotten hangers from the thrift store that were on the racks that caught my eye, and I asked them if I can purchase them, and I've sold them. So pay attention to hangers when you're at the thrift store. If you see something that is different, I found several Bakelite ones and ones that were named. And if you find designer ones, ask them if they'll sell them to you, because most of the thrift stores have an abundance of hangers. This one right here is a big no-no, and I think it's a really good lesson to talk about. So I bought this 4 years ago, kind of still finding my niche, finding my footing on YouTube and on eBay as far as reselling. And I was watching another content creator, and they were selling these puzzles like crazy and talking about you need to go get them. They were on clearance at Walmart. I went and got a ton, and I learned the hard lesson that sometimes when you watch big content creators, they're selling stuff because of who they are, not because of what the item is. And I think that was the case with this. So this one took 4 years, and now I make sure to do my own research. And I caution you to do that with what I'm telling you as well. Make sure to follow up, do your own research before you are spending your money on things to sell. You always want to know for yourself that things are selling and look at the sell-through rate. I personally did not do that. So this was a new sealed. I bought it new. I bought it retail arbitrage on clearance, and it sat here for 4 years. So I would not pick this up again unless it was something that I saw was very popular at the time. And I learned a good lesson that I should always check and comp items for myself. This Silpata necklace took a year to sell, sold for full price at $49.99. I paid $5 for this one, so it's a $35 profit. This is one I would get again. I am always buying jewelry lots. And Silpata typically for me does sell a little bit faster, but some pieces can take longer. You can see we were using the old necklace stand here. I prefer the faux leather to the cloth. Like this, I think just doesn't look as professional. It gets dirty pretty easy. If you do jewelry, you know jewelry is not the cleanest thing. There is that Silpata mark, so that is something to remember, because with most Silpata, you can find the actual item and an item number just by using Google Lens to search. It looks like I did not find it on this one, because normally if I do, I put it in my title. This gorgeous chrysocolla pendant sold for best offer $42, took about 6 months. I paid $5 for it. So it is about a $30 profit. And this one is a beautiful, beautiful piece. You can see there it does have the bail as well as a pin for a brooch. It was signed Israel in 925. It has a maker's mark, but I was unable to identify who that was. This one was pretty heavy at 16 grams, so pretty chunky, but a big majority of that is the stone, not the actual sterling. And this one, just like with the rest of the jewelry, I obviously am going to continue getting them. And I know that some of it does take a longer time to sell, but luckily jewelry does not take up much space. This is the last of the Mohicans with the pictures from my bathroom. So I bought a set of 3. This is the parents. So there was this one, there was ones of them with eggs, and then there was ones of them with chicks. And this was the last one. It was hanging in my bathroom. It did take 2 years to sell. With art that I'm hanging up in the house and displaying, or pieces that I'm displaying, I don't really care how long they take to sell. And now I get to figure out a new picture to hang in my bathroom. So it is an artist Jeekly print, Snowy White Egret. It does have the artist name on it, but she was not well known. Did sell for full price of $38.99. I only paid about $5 for this one. So it's about a $34 profit. So we can make our own rules. There are always exceptions to the rules, and I definitely recommend you be willing to break those rules sometimes for stuff like this. If there's stuff that you like that you've got hanging around the house, it's not taking up space in my storage because it's hanging and displayed in my house. And I have a few nice pottery pieces that are like that as well. These shorts took about 10 months to sell. This is something, if I was thrifting, I probably would not pick up again. They sold for $20. I only paid $1 for them. I got them because it said like the recycled denim, and I was like, oh, that should go well. No, Kat should check and research, and I didn't. But they're $15 profit. I am glad they are gone. But Indigo Rain, from what I am seeing, is not a fast seller. If you know something different, let me know. But they were also size 1, so they're teeny tiny. And you know, in our society today, most people are bigger than a size 1. So I had that going against me. Luckily, I didn't have much in, and they really didn't take up a ton of space. Last for today is this pair of vintage carved jade heart stud earrings. We did put Reed on them. These sold for full price at $29.99. They took about 4.5 months to sell. I only paid $1 for these. They were in a costume lot, so they are a $22 profit. And they did not have backs on them. So that is why we put Reed. We did show that. And also the one post is bent a little bit. So we want to make sure that the buyer knows that they are not getting backs with it, and that that one post had a little bit of bend to it. But a great sale. Earrings really are great. They do not take up much space at all. And this was a decent profit with only 4 months to sell. All right, that was everything. I hope you have enjoyed. Don't forget to check out my retreat that is coming up in July. We rented like an 8,000 square foot house, all individual suites. They are locked. You will have like a mini kitchenette. It is a Monday through Friday. We are doing learning. We are doing networking. We will have fun as well. So it's July 20th to 24th, and we do have a few rooms still available. So make sure you check that out. I would love to meet you in person. If you're not able to come, we do have virtual options starting at $29.99. So we would love to see you that way as well. And we are going to be doing some extra lives and all kinds of fun stuff. So, and check it out. We had a great time 4 years ago. The first time we did it. It has been way too long, and I am really, really excited to do another one and get to meet some of you face to face.